Okay, do you want to run faster, feel stronger, and definitely feel stronger at the end of a marathon so that you can execute the marathon properly and achieve the time that you've always been aiming for? Is this the year for you to go sub 3, sub 3:30, 4 hours? It doesn't matter what your goal is. What matters is you understand that it's not training more. It's doing the right things well and training smarter that is going to move you forward. But why should you trust me? On my marathon journey, it took me from starting running 8 months to do a marathon in 4 hours, 25 minutes. It then took me another 7 months to take an hour off that and run 3 hours, 25. I was working hard, but then with the right approach and the type of sessions and tips that I'm about to give you, I ran my next marathon in 2 hours and 37 minutes, just 11 months later. And now my marathon time is 2 hours and 21 minutes and led me to representing my country in both the marathon and ultra marathon. So if a regular guy like me can do it, you can too. If you implement just 3 of these points, these 10 tips that I'm about to give you, those will compound and make you a completely different athlete. Tip number 1, you've got to do interval training. Speed work is a non-negotiable if you want to go faster. And we're looking to boost that VO2 max, of course, but what's infinitely more important for the marathon is that we're moving forward our lactate threshold. So we're able to sustain faster paces for longer. My favorite session for this is 5 times 10 minutes. It's a difficult session. 5 times 10 minutes with 60 seconds rest in between. But I know if I can run those intervals slightly faster than my marathon pace, I'm in good shape and I know I can execute my marathon PB. What it's going to look like if you're aiming for a sub 3 hour marathon is 4:15 per kilometer, running around about 4 minutes per kilometer for those 10-minute reps, recovering in between in those 60-second rest, ready to go again. Number 2, build your aerobic base. You've got to be doing runs out there in zone 1 and zone 2, conversational pace. That's going to be the bulk of the work that you do, your recovery runs, easy runs, and some of your long run as well. Think about that as building your engine so that when you do start to go faster, you've got a bigger engine to work from. Tip number 3. Add tempo runs. Tempo runs are where the magic happens. Running at your lactate threshold pace, comfortably hard, teaches your body to clear lactate and sustain faster efforts. I like to do blocks of 20 to 40 minutes between my 10K pace and half marathon pace. Again, if you're aiming for a sub 3 hour marathon, 4:15 per kilometer, this will be around 4 minutes per kilometer pace. Number 4. Optimize your long run. Your long run and building endurance is the backbone of your marathon training. But if you're always doing those very, very comfortably, conversational pace, what you're going to do is build an efficient runner at running slow over the ground. If you add marathon pace segments into that run, for example, 25 kilometers with 10 kilometers at marathon pace at the end, all of a sudden you've got that second quality session during the week that is pushing you forward, that you're getting improvement for, and specifically towards your marathon goal. You've got to be real with yourself here. If you can't execute 10 kilometers at marathon pace at the end of a 25-kilometer long run, then how are you going to do that on marathon day for the entire marathon distance? Tip number 5, strength train regularly. If you don't currently strength train, this is a massive improvement area for you. If you're in a second group of runners that I often see that strength trains when they remember it and do it very much on an ad hoc basis, again, if you consistently implement a strength training program specifically for a runner, so powerful glutes, powerful hamstrings, robust lower legs and quads, you're going to massively move forward and it's going to impact the rest of your running, especially your faster running and hill running. Number 6, dial in your nutrition and hydration. If you take one thing from this video, one thing to move you forward, for a marathon, the biggest improvement point most people can make is to have a good fueling strategy for race day. Fueling is a game changer. During long runs and interval sessions, I always practice taking in 80 grams of carbohydrates per hour, not just to maintain my energy levels, but also to prevent that muscle breakdown that you get from the big sessions. That's going to help you add consistency in your training and push more. Find out what works for you, whether it's gels, chews, sports drinks. the perfect race day strategy and then practice with it in training so that there's no surprises on race day. And get your breakfast dialed in. Again, find out what works for you and exactly quantity, how much to take and when to take it. Get that dialed in, practice with it. Again, no surprises on race day. Number 7, and if you get this right, together with the nutrition, you're gonna move yourself forward. You're gonna become a faster marathon runner just with these 2 points. Condition the quads. We know that running uphill is gonna make you more efficient as a runner, better running economy, and more powerful. But what about running downhill? Running downhill is gonna condition your quads. When you're running in a marathon for long periods of time, many hours, over the same flat terrain, using the same muscles, the first muscles that are going to feel that dull ache, which will initially slow you down and then stop you, are the quadriceps. The way that we condition the quadriceps for that final third or final quarter of a marathon is by running downhill and getting good at it. Number 8. Focus on recovery. The training only makes you stronger if you let that sink in and you let the adaptations take place. Without your recovery runs, your easy runs, great sleep, reduced stress, complete rest days, and active recovery, you're going to come unstuck. Let your body adapt to the training, know when to go hard and push and when to rest, when to take it easy. Number 9, taper properly. You've done all that hard work. You've got yourself to the final 1 to 3 weeks. Now it's time to let the training soak in, freshen up the legs, so reduce the volume, keep the intensity the same, and get to the race line, get to the start line as fresh and as fit as you possibly can be. It's one of the simplest yet overlooked strategies that you can implement for free that will move you forward a lot. Number 10, nail your race day strategy. Pace conservatively. Pacing is everything. You're going to be super fresh and feel fit and energetic and have that nervousness because it's race day and you've just completed your taper. But don't let that excitement mean that you're setting off too quick. You're starting too quick and you're going to pay for it later. Remember all the hard work you've done, and now is the time to execute. So there you have it, 10 proven strategies that I've used myself and they will work. And again, as I said at the start of the video, if just 3 of those push you forward, think of how they compound to give you a completely different result. I hope you got something from that, and I hope that this year is the year that you PR in your marathon. And if shaving a few minutes or 5% off your marathon time doesn't excite you and you want those bigger gains, I'm a coach and I specialize in helping people get as fast as they possibly can and work towards getting towards their potential. So if you need help, you're training towards a marathon this spring or this year, get in contact.